Hello and welcome back to Speed Build Sunday. It has been a long time since we've had a Speed Build Sunday, specifically since November of 2022. It is now nearly April of 2023. That's been a long time. So we're changing it up. We're going to be entering into a bit of a building era on the YouTube, I think. I really want to get into more like build challenges and the speed builds and everything. So that's the plan. So we're starting with the Speed Build Sunday of this cute little house that is only base game and growing together, which is the new pack that was released a few weeks ago, and now we have, so I thought I would do a bit of a one pack build with base game for this pack. And honestly, I'm really happy that it turned out. But I will say, I'm not the hugest fan of this pack. I don't like the craftsman style of build just in general, like in real life and in The Sims. It's not my vibe. So it's definitely not super craftsman vibes. I kind of went with like a modern craftsman suburban vibe than anything else. Like, be able to use those elements from the pack, but like not so much that I end up not liking it. But I really like how this build turned out. It actually does change quite a lot from this size here. I ended up making it bigger into a 2-bedroom because right now it's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, like a little kitchen eat-in area. But after I did the landscaping and everything, I decided that I wanted to make it bigger because I did the outside like, oh, there's kids in this house. And also, why did I do a 1-bedroom when it's a pack about families and babies and all of that kind of stuff? So I was like, I should have a 2nd bedroom. So I later added a 2nd bedroom in the back. I like extended it a little bit and made a nursery along with changing the kitchen. You can also see here, I did change the location because I started in Newcrest and then I was like, why am I not building in San Sequoia? So I grabbed the lot and put it on my library and then brought it to San Sequoia. And that's what we did. So I wanted to like match it to the landscaping in the world as well. And I think I did pretty well. There's a decent amount of debug landscaping in the new pack. It's not my favorite. A lot of it's stuff we already have, and they just put it in the debug for the new pack because that's what they were using, so they put it in the new pack. But it has some really good items. Honestly, my favorite is that one ground covering item. I didn't like the color though for this vibe, so I ended up removing it. And there's also this like little flower that you can see right there. I love it. I think it's so cute. I use it all over this lot. Like the orangey yellow is really, really cute. And I'm a big fan of it. I love the little flower bits because a lot of the flowers we have in this game are really big. They're really tall and they take up a lot of space and they don't look right in a lot of landscaping. So I'm glad to have little things like that to include. But I really like how the landscaping turned out. I think it's really cute. Used some rocks, had to tool some rocks because of the foundation. I hate that they jump up the foundation. I think it's so annoying. But I've said it 70 times already, but I like how this build turned out. I'm trying to do some new things with my landscaping, adding like, rocks and like trying to match some of like the weird patches in the world. Like if you look behind the lot, there'll be like little patches of grass with some rocks and maybe a bush and things like that. So I'm trying to like kind of match that within the landscaping on my lot. And you can see that I put a big rock in the front. I don't know what like compelled me to do that, but I think it looks really nice. A lot of people have like a giant rock in their front yard. At least where I grew up, a lot of people had that like in my suburbs. So I decided to go with that, and I think it's really fun. I think it's really cute. And honestly, I like the terrain paint that I did as well. I think it looked pretty nice. I did have to adjust a bunch of it when I extended the house, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I will say, I tried to add a basement before extending the house because I really liked how the backyard was laid out. I tried to add a basement, but there was just no feasible way to make it work very well without like extending past the house and like having the weird bump out bits and all of this and that. So I just extended it, but it's fine. It's fine. You can see here is now where I start extending it. And I also tried to use as much from this pack as I could. Like I tried to use as much of the furniture. I tried to use as little of a base game as possible, basically. And I tried to use as much as I could. You can see with like the exterior, I put the tree house in and like some of the other like little toys and everything. And you'll see when I get to the interior, which I honestly didn't even plan on doing the interior. I just wanted to do the outside of the house. That's what I was really feeling. But I was like, I want to make it into a speed build. Is it going to be too short? I sped it up and it was like 3.5 minutes for the exterior. So I was like, let me go do the interior. And so I spent like an hour or so doing the interior and I like how it turned out. I think I like how it turned out. It's not my favorite. It's a little bit laid out weird because the main living space is a little bit of an odd shape, but you'll see that in a little bit. I do have to be honest though. I've said this pretty much everywhere before, like on all of my live streams, and I mentioned it in some other videos. I'm not a big fan of this pack. Personally, I'm really sad that I'm not a big fan of this pack. I was really looking forward to it. I was really looking forward to coming out. I thought it would be really, really fun. However, it doesn't suit my gameplay style. Like I said, the craftsman vibe is not for me. The cast no one asked for the cast that we got, and for good reason, because it's not very good. And like, I'm not even a cast person, but I acknowledge when the cast is really good, or if it's just like meh, even if it's not my personal style, but like, it's kind of bad. The style is really bad, and like, I feel like the items don't work together well, like, at all. So, and then the gameplay, personally, I've had a lot of issues with the gameplay. I haven't done a lot, but I've had a lot of issues with like autonomy and bugs, and the infants taking so long to like do things. So I was really disappointed in the pack. Like, it's quality, like the build buy is very high quality items. Like, I think they're all really good, but they're just not my vibe. And like, that's what I use mostly. So I was disappointed. There are definitely some items in there that I will be using, like the little ram ottoman. Come on, it's so cute. And like, there's some nice wall decor items that I like to use. So I'll get through it. I'll still be able to use the pack in probably every build, but like, it's not my favorite. Also, in case you were curious, this build, I intended it to be for like a single parent, potentially with like two parents, because like, you know, Sims can scoot now, so like if it's against the bed, it's fine. But my intention was to make it as a single parent home with a infant, is what I made the nursery for, with all the, like the new infant stuff, with like a bassinet, or with a crib versus a bassinet. Because personally, I think the cribs are so much cuter than the bassinets. They're just so much cuter. But I added like little bits of like the baby stuff throughout the other rooms, just to like add a little touch of realism, because I feel like when you have a child, not that I have a child, but I've a babysitter my whole life, but when you have a child, like their stuff is in every room. So I wanted to like add that throughout. Also, the bathroom was hard to lay out because with like these new towels and everything, because I wanted to use the new shower tub, but it takes up a lot of space and I didn't have a huge bathroom. So there wasn't a lot of wall space for these towels. So they ended up being over the toilet, which I thought was a little bit odd, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. But I really like how this nursery turned out. I don't remember if I used a changing table. I'm not the biggest fan of the changing tables. Firstly, because they take up so much space. Like, why are they so big? Why are they so big? But also in terms of like the gameplay functionality, I think it's a little annoying because you can only change your infants on the table and not anywhere else, which is kind of unrealistic. Like, you can change a baby wherever you have a surface, and like you have a surface everywhere because you have a floor. Now, like I said, I'm not a parent. I never babysat infants. I was like a 2 to 5 year old babysitter, but I don't like them. I think they're a little dumb. I think they're too big, and I think they're just a pain to use. So I haven't been putting them in my builds, except for like the cute ones that I'm like trying to make, you know, a really cute nursery, but I don't intend to play in it. If I ever play it, whenever I play with a nursery, I'm not putting a changing table in it because it just makes life a lot harder. It just makes life a lot harder, and I don't need to make my life harder for my Sims because I already make life hard for my Sims as it is, because I'm a challenge player. I like to make them struggle and suffer a little bit. So I gotta give them a little bit of, you know, non-struggling vibes, you know? But the nursery turned out so cute. I really like how it turned out. And then this kitchen I also struggled with to find like the right counter to make work, because the new pack didn't come with any counters, but it came with a stove and a fridge, and none of the counters really match or coordinate really well with the stove and the fridge, because they're a very weird style and it just doesn't match very well. And I find like I went with my normal base game ones that I typically use, but I don't know, it feels wrong. It doesn't feel like they match very well. The kitchen ended up looking pretty nice though, so I'm not mad at it. But the fridge, I really wanted like a stainless steel. Like, they didn't have like a stainless steel. They only had like the gray and like really bright colors. They only had really bright colors for this. So for like the stove and the oven, or the stove and the fridge. So it makes it really hard to use because they're so bright, and like that's not the vibe. Having the bright colors isn't really the vibe, at least for me. A lot of the times I'd rather have like bright colored cabinets than appliances, you know, in my builds personally. So I could probably find a use for them sometimes with like the nice colors, but not very often. And this kitchen should be functional. I only put decor on one of the countertops, so they should be able to still use the other one. So it should be a fully functional kitchen. Honestly, the house should be fully functional. The pathing in the like main room might be a little funky because it's quite small. I try to fit a lot in there. So I don't know if it'll be like every single inch of it's gonna be playable and like functional, but I did what I could. I did what I could. I will say I do like how it turned out. I wasn't sure what to do with that big empty space in front of the kitchen for a long time, and then it like occurred to me that I was like, there's nowhere to sit to eat. So I ended up putting a dining table there. And honestly, that's probably one of my favorite spots in the whole house. Like, I just think the dining table is really nice. I'm not the biggest fan of this table itself, but these base game chairs I think look really nice with it. And that flower from the new pack it just makes so much sense on a table. It just looks so nice in the middle of the table. I just think it's very, very good. I just think it's very, very good. And then you can see here, you know, lots of little tweaks and just nudges everywhere, adding like a few last minute things and like all the wall decor. But I think this house is really cute. It will be on my gallery if you're interested in downloading it. My gallery is listed down below, but it's also Dizzy Miss Liz with 2 Z's and an underscore. So if that's something you'd like to download, feel free to check it out on there. I also have all kinds of like other builds. Like if you like to build, but you don't like to do the exterior, but you like to do the interior, I have a lot of like empty shells as well of like finished houses, but you do the inside, and they're even floor plan and everything. So you can check those out if you want. And I have also like a lot of finished houses or shell challenges and like all this kind of stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check out my gallery. But here is like the final house, basically. I like how it turned out. So now that you've seen the speed build, let's go into the build and I'll give you a little tour. Here is the build. I think it turned out really, really cute. You can see there's like lots of stuff to do outside, you know, the tree house, the picnic area, and the rock that I don't know why, but I still really like it. I like it a lot. I think it's really fun. And again, I love how my landscaping turned out. I think it looks really, really cute. Inside, you go right into this living space. As you can see, you know, lots of little baby clutter games, speaker over here, lots of, you know, decorations and like family things, a space for your photos, space for your family photos, of course, and more space over here. And then over here, we have the primary room. I just think it's so cute. Like the pinks and like the light browns and the whites. I just think it turned out really, really cute. I like it a lot. I feel like the walls are a little bit plain, but I feel like it works though. I think it really works. And then the bathroom's right here. It's very simple. Like I said, it's not too cluttered, mostly because there's not space for it to be cluttered. But I like how it turned out. And like, we got toilet paper. So like, that's really as much as you, like, as long as there's toilet paper, honestly, like it's fine. It's fine. And then the kitchen over here, you know, it's plain simple. There's a full countertop available for you to do your cooking. So it's definitely functional, you know, trash can, you got all the things that you need. You got all the things that you need in here. And then the nursery, which is probably my favorite. I just love how the colors all combine and really like look nice, and like the way that this accent wall really like brings out the colors in the mobile and like the whole room. I just think it's precious. I just think it's really, really precious. And then of course the door to the outside to the like little picnic area. But that is the build. Like I said, it is on the gallery if you'd like to download it. Most of my speed builds do come from my Twitch streams. So if you want to watch me build in real time, not sped up, maybe have some input in the build, feel free to come join us over on my Twitch. I stream Monday through Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm also live on TikTok on Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to come join us, we would love to have you. We have a lot of fun, so feel free to come, give us input, watch me build in real time, chat with me, distract me from the build. If you want to, I would love to if you could come. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!